Today's episode is going to be a fun one because we're going to take this piece of wood, we cut it out, and we make this awesome sign for the radio station. This is cut out with a vinyl cutter. It's a Cricut vinyl cutter. It's larger than a 12-inch mat. I'm going to show you how we do that, show you how we layer the different colors. You're not going to want to miss this. Stick around.
Red Dirt Designs. Invest in yourself.
We're going to be using our Cricut to cut out the vinyl to make it. We need to start a new project. I already have the photo saved as a PNG. So I'm going to go ahead and upload it in the bottom left. I'm going to upload the image. We're going to browse for the image. I saved it in my computer. I have it as a PNG so I don't have to cut it out in Cricut Design Space. That's the best way of doing this. We're going to select Simple. Hit Continue. Notice how the background's already cut out. Makes my life a lot easier. But I'm going to go ahead and clean up some spots that it didn't do a very good job on. I'm just going to use the eraser tool here, and we're just going to go around and try to erase any of the areas that look rough or like it missed. Alright, once we're finished, we're going to hit Cut Image and upload it. Now we're going to find the image, select it, and then we're going to go down to the bottom right and click Add to Canvas. Now our image will be brought up onto the canvas. Notice those little dots there? Not a big deal, but that's what I was trying to clean up. On the original image, there's a white border around the sign. So in order to emulate that, I'm just going to go into Offset at the top center. And we're going to pull this offset. Notice the blue line around it? That's the offset. I'm going to pull it out to where it looks about like the sign in the picture. And then I'm going to hit Apply. Now it puts basically an outline around the whole image. Now with the offset selected, we go down to Contour in the bottom right. Now we're going to clean up the offset. I don't want any of these numbers or letters to be cut out. So I'm basically going to just unselect them to where all that's selected to be cut is just the offset outline. There's the offset now. Notice how it doesn't have any cuts in it anymore. It's just going to be a nice single cut. I'm going to change the color to white so I know what color the vinyl is going to be. It's going to help me in the future. Now we're turning on the rest of the image. Now you can see it all. Notice how when you stack it on top of each other, there's our outline. That's what we wanted, was that white outline. Now if you have a 12-inch mat, you can still do large images with a 12-inch mat, but you're going to have to slice the image to where it can be seamed. Right here is a 24-inch mat. I'm going to see if I can get it big enough to fit on two, but now that I know I can't, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how you can make it into a large image with two 12-inch mats if needed, which is what most people generally have. So what we're going to do is, using that same square shape from the Shapes tab on the left menu bar, we're going to go ahead and make a square, and we're going to use this to make our slice. I'm trying to run this line in the least invasive spot. And the reason I'm running this square at 11.5 width is because that's how wide your mat is. So selecting both the square image and the offset, I'm going to make this slice. By making the slice, it just cut it. Now you have a cut line between the top sign and the bottom sign, which will make it to where it'll fit on two 12-inch mats. Now so we can see our image, we're going to go ahead and grab our 35 South original logo, drag it to the top. That'll bring it forward. Now to get rid of all the extra cuts, we're going to select the slice result, which is black, and also the other slice result, which was the other part. We delete those. Now we're left with just the white offset images that were cut in half. Now we still have a problem. There's a red exclamation point next to our other logo that we haven't cut yet. So we need to make that cut so it's just like this white overlay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the shapes on the left menu bar, and we need to select the square. We need to resize this mat to 11.5 width so that way we know our image fits within the mat. It's just a good habit to get into even if you're making the slice. And we're going to try to line this up in the same spot that our offset was. Let's drag the original image back to the top so we can see where we're at on our mat. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so I can try to line this up in the least invasive spot, just like we did with the offset cut. And just like we did with the offset, we need to make sure we select the square image, hit shift, and then select our other image that we want to slice. Once they're both selected, you hit the slice button and it'll make the cut. It made the cut. Now we have all these extra images over on the side that we need to get rid of, just like the last time. Because that square is so large from the square image, we don't need that, so we're just going to delete that. We also need the other cut to be erased. We don't need it, so I'm just selecting it and clicking the eye to make sure I get the right thing, and then we delete it. Now I'm left with just these two pieces to be cut. It's exactly what we want right there. So now they'll both fit on 12-inch mats, so we can click the Make It button. And see, now you can see that on 4 separate 12-inch mat cuts, we can actually make this extremely large image that you normally have to have a 12 by 24 mat for, which I suggest buying one if you can. And if you click the 24-inch mat as the drop down, it'll show that you can fit this image on 2 24-inch mats, which I have a 24-inch mat, so this is how I'm going to make my cut. But I just wanted to show you guys how you can do it on a 12-inch mat if you do not have the 24-inch mat. It's a good option. And I'll have a link on the end screen of a video that's a great, more detailed on how to do an image larger than your mat. This isn't that tutorial, but I'll have it on the end screen to show you how in detail how to do this easier. Alright, I got my 24-inch mat. Take off the protective coating. It's Cricut removable vinyl. For my first cut, I chose the removable vinyl because what I'm going to use this for is this is the offset cut that I'm making, but we're going to go ahead and cut out the outer image of the sign so that way when I cut it out of the wood, if I mess up this vinyl, it won't matter because I'm just going to peel it off. This is literally just basically a stencil for me to cut out my logo with. This is probably the most affordable transfer tape I ever bought, and it works pretty well. I'll have the Amazon affiliate link in the description of this video so you can buy your own roll, because honestly, I'm on a budget, you're on a budget, let's all help each other out. Yeah, it's 104 degrees out, so if I'm a little sweaty or whatever, that's why. It is every bit of 104 out here. It's on the transfer tape. So now we just lay it in position. I'm going to try not to waste too much of this. It's extremely expensive. What? This is literally just a template to cut it out with. So. Okay, now we're going to peel the removable vinyl off. Now we have our sign cut out. We're going to go ahead and cut all our vinyls, and they should be the exact size, and they'll stick right on, and we'll show you how we do that. Alright, I've placed my white vinyl in there. The same cut that we had made with the template. I was able to keep that transfer tape from outside, so we're just going to reuse it. It ain't got to be perfect or clean, it just got to be sticky enough to transfer it. Okay, and on this one, I'm going to cut it in the middle so I can line it up. Here we're just going to place it down, and whenever I peel it up there's some bubbles and wrinkles. You can simply just lift up on it, get the wrinkles out, and lay it back down flat. Now that we're finished with the white, we can go ahead and hide those images. And we're going to go ahead and make the red. So I'm going to select the image that the red is in. I'm going to go into contour. And we're going to make sure that just the red is selected. So all the cuts for the top of the sign, that's red, needs to be selected. The rest of them need to be hidden. Now all that's left on the canvas is the red part. So let's go ahead and make that. So we just need a little sliver, so I'm just using a scrap piece of red here. We'll go ahead and make this cut. Hit the C button. Okay, to layer vinyl, this is how I've always done it. I'm just using a little Dawn dish soap and water in a squirt bottle. I spritz it down, and now you can freely move this around, and until you squeegee the water out, it can be moved around. You can redo it. It makes it where it's slick, but then once you squeegee the water out, it'll start sticking down. I didn't do this with the white offset background because I didn't want to put the water on the wood, because I was afraid it might ruin the wood. But now that we're doing it on top of white vinyl, I don't see a problem with it. Now we're going to go into contours on the images, and we're going to hide the red and the gray and make it where just the blue is visible so we can make the cut. Once the blue is all selected, we can go ahead and click Make It. It puts it on two 12-inch mat. Since I have the 24-inch mat, I'm going to go ahead and go over here on the left and do the drop down and change it to a 24-inch mat so I can just do it in one cut. It's got a shimmer to it. This is literally like a metallic. If you'd like to help support the channel, please hit the subscribe button and then ring the bell for future videos. Thank you. Alright, I tried doing it, taking some of the tackiness away because I'm going to use that soapy water. I just kind of touched it to my pant leg and try to dull it down just a little bit where it's not so sticky. Still really sticky stuff though. A lot of times that's a good thing. Here I'm just repeating the same process, spritzing it down with some soapy water. That way I can move the images around to line them up before I squeegee the water out to make it where it's permanently set down. I keep working all the air bubbles out of this, and just keep working out, put it out in the sun for a little bit. That'll get rid of a lot of it, and there's just a little bit of dirt and stuff, nibs in there, but that ain't gonna hurt. Now we're repeating the same process to do the gray, with just a couple little pieces here, so this will be easy. I just gotta put a hanger on it and we'll hang it up.